welcome back to the Pippin Pod. My name is Gabriella and I'm here with my co-host, Gerrel Marquez.
Hi, everyone. And today we're being joined by our little dance crew for Pippin, including our choreographer, Beth Brady, Grace Uono, and Anna Riley. Beth, say hi.
Hi, guys.
Grace, say hi.
Hello.
And last but not least, Anna, say hi.
Hi, guys.
Well, we're so happy to have you here, and we're going to go right in that order as I ask you guys questions. So Beth, we'll start with you, then we'll jump to Grace and Anna. But what is your role as a choreographer or dancer, and what does it entail?
So it's kind of in the name. I'm the choreographer, so I choreograph, which basically means that anytime I'm listening to a song and there's a dance break, I add it to a list. It also means that I spend hours upon hours in my basement listening to the same like 8 counts of music on loop like a crazy person. But yeah, it basically just like it's great. I have a lot of creative freedom thanks to our amazing director and assistant director. So yeah, basically I get to like mess around and like try stuff out and choreograph. So that's what my job means.
Grace?
My role as a dancer is just to like, know what's being given to me, knowing like when I'm doing it and how I'm doing it in whatever song. And yeah, just like having fun with it.
And last but not least, Anna.
Yeah, sort of what like Grace was saying of sort of just learning the choreography and making sure you practice and so that you can sort of put Beth's vision on stage and do it how she wants you to.
Well, I mean, you guys have been doing a really good job so far, so thank you for that. But, everyone comes from somewhere, so what's the type of training that you've all taken to become this skilled in dancing? Let's start with Beth.
So I'm very transparent about this. I have like kind of limited like in the classroom, at the bar, in front of the mirror dance experience. A lot of my like dance experience comes from dancing in the context of a show. So I've done theater since 6th grade. I think I've done like 10 shows. And then when I got to high school, when I got to Northwest High School, I was a dance captain starting my freshman year. And I can very confidently say that was, I think, the most fundamental learning experience for me, dance-wise. Sean Cosby, who's the choreographer at Northwest, she was the one who really like showed me that anyone can be a dancer, but if you're gonna dance, you choose to dance. And it's a choice you make every day when you step into the room. And it's a choice, you make every time you put on that extra smile or do that extra high kick. So yeah, and then also like, this is kind of a tangent, but being a dance captain kind of taught me more than just like how to dance. It was also a very like fundamental leadership role for me. And it taught me really how to feel confident in front of a room because, you're sometimes teaching, you're, leading rehearsals, sometimes leading warm-ups. So I definitely have a lot of, gratefulness and respect for everybody at Northwest who has kind of helped me become the dancer and choreographer I am.
Well, how about you, Grace?
I started dancing when I was about like 6 or 7. I've always done POMs, which is kind of like high energy dance. It's like kick lines, hip hop, jazz, and sometimes lyrical. And so yeah, I've been doing that. And sometimes like over the summer or something, when I'm not on a competitive team like that, I'll take classes like jazz or ballet, like just like kind of like keep up with it.
Nice. Professional. And Anna?
I have the very like classic little girl experience of starting like ballet when I was 3. And I did that pretty much straight up and through freshman year of high school. And then I sort of fell out of it because I started focusing more on theater, but I have a lot of ballet experience and like I was on point for 2 years. And I also had some jazz stuff. And then of course, like I kept dancing in shows and I was dance captain for our show that got canceled last spring at my high school. So like just sort of mostly classical stuff, but going more into the theater path, I've gotten more jazz and like less ballet-esque training.
It's interesting because you all have such different training experiences and the types of music you've all done dancing to. But how does dancing to a number in Pippin vary from the type of music that you've danced in the past or the genre of dance you've participated in the past? Beth, we'll start with you again.
Um, I'd say from like a choreography standpoint, Pippin music is very evasive. So like on the right track is in this like crazy time signature. So you can even like, I don't even count it in like eighths or like sixes or whatever. I just kind of like scat sing along to whatever it is and like teach it and choreograph it that way. Um, but yeah, I think it's really cool to like the songs in Pippin very clearly fit into the story, like most musical theater, but there's just so much nuance there. And like I did a bunch of like crazy research about Fosse. So like knowing that history behind it, there's like, you know, you're dancing and you're doing the counts, but then there's this extra feeling of like there's something else there. So I don't know, it's really cool. I really like it. It's a pain in the butt sometimes, especially when you're like, wait, that's like an 8.5 or like a 6 3/4. But yeah.
Beth, that sounds really challenging, but also like a great accomplishment. So, Grace, what about you?
So like I said, I'm really used to doing like high energy dances. So like my coaches have always told me that like in the dancing that I do on my team, like there's no gray areas in what we do. So like kind of like when we're doing some like the slower songs in Pippin, like kind of like finding the gray areas is like what I kind of have to do because like I'm not really used to like doing slow dancing. So like I have to kind of like pay attention more. It's like kind of like let go a bit. So yeah.
That sounds amazing. Anna?
I think especially with like the Fosse style that Beth pulls from a lot, it's a very like specific type of dancing and it's really hard to like explain, but if you've ever like learned a Fosse dance or done something like in that style, it's just sort of like I didn't even know my body could move in that way and it just feels very strange like what you're normally doing in like a dance class or in a dance even for musical theater. And I think that's just like a really cool experience to have, especially with this show where it has like some more traditional dances and then some more of like very like Fosse-esque vibes.
Little stuff like that really pops up a lot in our choreography for this show. Except, what is, in your guys' opinion, like parts of dancing that is often unseen by audiences or like people like me who's a non-dancer? Beth, let's start with you.
Yeah, not to roast Gerrel, but non-dancer is a appropriate assessment.
A mover,
but
if you will. Yeah.
um yeah. Well, I think a big part of dancing, I mean, I never did anything super crazy and technical like ballet like Anna did, but a big part of it is making it look easy. You know, nobody wants to see someone struggling unless it's like super thematical and that's part of it. So I think that I mean it's kind of baked into it. It's in the medium, you know, it's supposed to look easy, you know. Anna's got her leg in the air for one of these numbers and it's supposed to look super like simple and easy. So I think that if you haven't done it, you don't know that it's hard, but making it look easy is part of it, but then that's even harder.
How about you, Grace?
I'd say like the stress and like also like just like working on everything like on your own. Like if you have to like work on your flexibility, like that's not an easy thing to do like by yourself and like just stretching every day. That's a very hard thing to like, you know, even attempt to try to do every day. And also like just the stress, like if something is not easy to like get down, like you might have to like just break it down for a couple of days and like try to like focus on it like with the music, and that's definitely not an easy thing to do.
And Anna?
I would definitely say like doing the practice on your own and memorizing all of the choreography because like it's like blocking plus more is kind of how I think of it, especially within a show context. It's like where am I supposed to be and then what am I supposed to be doing? And I think like picking up choreography is a skill, so like you can get better at it, but it's also like it's a little difficult to learn it and then be like okay and keep all of that information straight in your head.
And how did you all discover the free theater? And Beth, we'll start with you.
So I discovered the free theater through some friends who did it. I remember Ben Molina and then the Williamses, they did In the Heights, and my brother played trumpet for In the Heights because we know Miss Shago. So I went to go see that show, and I just remember like even the numbers that weren't like, I think there was one number that like wasn't finished, and like even sorry, I think it was Carnival del Barrio. It was like not finished, but everybody was still having so much fun on stage. Like you could feel like everybody on stage was just having such a blast. So that kind of like discovered it for me, but then also is kind of like luring me in, like all of these, just the idea of like all of these young kids, or not young kids, but young people like getting together, sharing a genuine love of theater and doing it, freely, I guess.
Yes, I was in that number, and I can confirm that it was one of the rougher portions of the show, although fun to be in. So yeah, Grace, what about you?
Well, I'd always seen like Instagram posts and stuff about the free theater, but one of my friends who, she never was in a show with the free theater, but she told me that like other people from my school have like participated in the shows and stuff. So I looked into it like a little bit into quarantine, and I saw that like they're having the fall musical theater intensive. So I decided to audition for that, and yeah.
That's great. Anna, what about you?
My very good friend Elizabeth Thickness, who plays Catherine in the show, was like, hey, there's this free musical theater intensive that I'm doing that's like on Sundays. And I was like, oh, if like I can choose the classes, like I can like do that because it's free. What's there to lose? And then they were like, we're doing Pippin in the spring. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because I did Pippin my freshman year and now I'm doing it as a senior. It's like very full circle. So I got into it that way.
Nice. That's all wonderful reasons why to get into the free theater. But let's here's a speed run question just off the top of your head. What number in the show is your favorite to choreograph / dance to? No explanation, just what is it? Beth.
Simple Joys, but I get to explain it because.
All right, Grace, let's go.
Simple Joys and Where is the Science?
All right, Anna.
Manson Trio.
Oh, that's true.
And what advice would you give to incoming choreographers or dancers at the free?
For choreographers, it's gonna be more work than you think. Like it's a lot. I was definitely ready for it, but I wasn't as ready for it as I would have liked to been. It also helps if you have like a genuine hunger to learn more. So like at the beginning, it was a lot of research. So if that's not your thing, then like, but I was, I kind of took it upon myself to like just learn everything I can and become like obsessively knowledgeable about like Pippin and like Fosse and stuff. So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of research. So be ready for that and also have fun with it. At the beginning, I was really stressing out, but have fun and like learn, because it's fun to be creative and it's fun to do it. So, and have a vision and don't be afraid to communicate what it is. And sometimes people are gonna be like, I don't know about that, but if you have a vision and you feel it, stand up for it, because that's what being creative is and that's why it matters.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Grace?
For dancers, I definitely say to like just have fun and like ask questions like when you need to, like especially like since we're over Zoom, like asking questions is very important, like because we obviously don't always have the time to like go over it in rehearsals and stuff. And yeah, like, just have fun. Like if you're nervous, like just think about how fun like it would be like when you're performing it on stage.
Anna?
I think I would say don't underestimate yourself. Like dance is a skill, and if you want to do it, like do it. Go in there and like move and have fun and like put in the work, and it'll pay off and it'll be okay.
Thank you. And thank you all so much for coming today, and thank you for bearing with me as I'm currently at the airport. Well, for all of our followers, make sure you're following at the Free Theater on Instagram for Pippin updates, content, and more.
Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next episode, May 24th.
I'm Gabriella.
And I'm Gerrel.
And this has been the Pippin Pod.
people long for freedom, some people long for fame. Some people like it simple, and we all need entertain. The people here are just like that, the people here they know. You keep it free and simple, and you've got to show. To all of the people who don't know who or what to be, the answer is simple. Be